In this video, we will cover chapter 1.2 of the book Springboard Quick Start. In this chapter, we will see how to create Springboard application by either using IntelliJ Community Edition, which is free, or IntelliJ Ultimate Edition, which is paid. In one of the previous videos, we have already cover the steps that are needed to create a Spring Boot application by using these two editions, but in this video we'll be following this step to actually create one Spring Boot application within IntelliJ. So we will start by showing how to create a Spring Boot application by using IntelliJ Community Edition. As this schema shows, the first step is to go to this web application where we can configure our Spring Boot application. So let's click on this link which will open Spring Initializer web application. On the left side are some configuration options, of which we have to change only two: group and artifact. Group should be something unique to you. You can use your domain name. And artifact is a name that your Spring Boot application have. Other option can be left as is because we want to have Maven project by using Java language, and Java version 11 is good for us. On the right side, we can select Spring Boot starters or Maven dependencies by pressing this button. So we will choose a Spring Web dependency, which allows our application to be accessible through web browser, and we will also select Spring Data JPA and H2 database dependencies. These two dependencies allow us to work with database. Now, we will not actually use any of these dependencies. For now, we have chosen them just to demonstrate how this is done. Now that we have configured our Spring Boot application, we can click on Generate, which will create a zip file that contains our application. Now we need to locate this zip file and extract it in order to be able to later import this Spring Boot application into IntelliJ. So once extracted, our Spring Boot application will look like this. Here is a POM.xml file, and here we can see our dependencies that we have selected. Data JPA dependency, web dependency, and H2 database dependency. Now we can go to IntelliJ, which will look like this if you already have a project open within it. In order to import the project that we have just created, go to File, New, Project from Existing Sources, and then locate POM.xml file and click OK. IntelliJ will now use data from that file and the related files that we have extracted to create a Spring Boot application. This application will then have a following structure. This is our Java package, and inside the Java package we will have the main Spring Boot class, which is the entry point in our application. And we will also have a POM.xml file containing dependencies that we have previously selected: Data JPA, Web dependency, and H2 database dependency. Before we start application, let's just put a line that will display some text to the console so that we can confirm that application is properly running. We can now start the application by pressing this green arrow, which will execute the run configuration shown here that was created by us by IntelliJ while we were importing the project. Application has started, and in the console we can see that it has displayed the string that we have defined here, which means that our application is running properly. So we have just demonstrated how to use IntelliJ Community Edition to create a Spring Boot application by first configuring it inside this web application, downloading a zip file, extracting it, and then importing this zip file inside IntelliJ by navigating to this POM.xml file within extracted files. So next we will show how to create Spring Boot application by using IntelliJ Ultimate Edition, which is paid. With this approach, we can do everything within the IntelliJ IDE. That is, we don't have to use this web page anymore. Instead, IntelliJ will be using that web page in the background on its own. So, to create a Spring Boot application by using IntelliJ Ultimate Edition, we have to go to File, New, Project, and then we select Spring Initializer as the type of project we want to create. Here we define the name of the application. We will call it demo 11, and here we again have to specify unique group by using our domain name. So these are the only two things that we have to enter, and these are the same things that we have entered in this web application, group and artifact. Now that this is entered, we can leave other settings as they are. Again, we will be using Java language and Maven and Java 11, just as we were when we were creating our project using Spring Initializer, Maven, Java, Java 11. We can now click Next, and here we can choose our dependencies. So again, we will choose the same dependencies, web dependency and database related dependencies, Spring Data JPA and H2 database. So again, these are the same dependencies that we have selected in this web application. Once dependencies are selected and visible here, we can click on Finish, and IntelliJ will create a Spring Boot project for us. This Spring Boot project will have exactly the same structure as the one that we have previously created using IntelliJ Community Free Edition. So again, we have the main Java class, which is an entry point to the Spring Boot application. And here again, we will add a line so that our application displays something in the console when we start it. We can now run the application by pressing this green arrow, and this will execute the run configuration that was created for us. We can see in the console output that application is running properly, and it is displaying text that we have defined in the main class. Once again, we can take a look at the created POM.xml file and confirm that it contains dependencies that we have selected: JPA dependency, web dependency, and H2 database. We have now shown how to create a Spring Boot application by using IntelliJ Ultimate Edition, which is a paid edition. So now in this video we have covered and shown how to create Spring Boot application by using these two approaches.